I recently completed my new gaming PC build. It's an Antec 902 case with a massive 200mm fan on the top, as you can see. And on the back you can see another exit exhaust for a 120mm fan. The ASRock Fatality Z68 motherboard. The header is on the back. And the sound card and graphics cards, and at the bottom power supply. And if we look around the front, you can see the Antec logo there, and there are no optical drives in the PC. So all my gaming is mainly digital downloads anyway these days, so no optical drives. And there are three 120mm Antec tri-cool fans blowing air straight through. And if I look from the side, you can see the open case, open window, and what I've done is taken the little side panel they have on this case and inverted it so it's pointing outwards instead of inwards. That allows me to stick another 120mm Antec tri-cool fan on the outside, just shoving more air back into the case, to keep it cool. And if I take the side off, okay, right, okay, so now what we can see at the bottom is a, Cooler Master 850 watt power supply. Again, you can see the bottom parts of the motherboard. Again, it's the ASRock Z68 Professional Gen 3 Fatality brand. Two GPUs are KFA2 branded nVidia GTX 580s, so SLI, and an X-Fi titanium sound card. And there's an Intel 2600K overclocked to 5 GHz with this massive Noctua NH-D14 cooler with 3 Noctua fans. This thing's massive. It's absolutely huge. It takes up a huge chunk of the actual CPU, of the actual case, as you can see. If I just pan back a little bit, so that's two 120mm fans at either end, and in the center, sandwiched in the center, is a 140mm fan. So blowing through air through the two radiator fins. And in the bottom you can just make out some G.Skill RAM. So there's 8 gig, there's 2 gigabyte sticks of G.Skill Ripjaws. They're DDR2 dual channel, and they're running at 2133 megahertz. So again, overclocked. And at the bottom, again, just getting some air from the side. The front of the box is a Caviar Black, 2TB Caviar Black, and the boot drive is a Kingston 64 gig SSD. Just needs a bit of cleaning. And that is my PC build so far. And there you go. There's the weight. It's actually in stone on this particular scale, so that's 2 stone 13.6. So I'll work that out afterwards and see what that is in kilos, etc. Okay, the BIOS settings for this ASRock Gen 3 Professional and Z68 motherboard, and here we go. Here's some of the information. You can see processor is overclocked to 5056 megahertz. Dual channel memory, DDR3 2133, and all the bays taken up. So 8 gig of RAM. And the OC tweaker, sorry, is as follows. So you can see the settings that I'm using. The short and long duration are set to those values so that it stays at 5 GHz and doesn't throttle down in high use. The BLK is slightly overclocked, not by much. If I scroll down, you can see my other temperatures. So it's in offset mode. It's currently in 1.472 volts. It will go up to 1.48 during prime 95, etc. DRAM voltage, the CPU PLL voltage, it generally wants to be at 1.82, I think it is, but I find lowering that causes the temperature to be a little bit less on the CPU without really causing any stability issues. So I have it currently at 1.709 and the VTT is at 1.181. And don't touch the VCSA, leave it alone. And if I go to advanced, look at the information in here. So you can see the hyperthreading is enabled, all active cores, and all the kind of monitoring states and thermal throttling and everything else is all disabled, and virtualization is disabled because I don't use it because it's a gaming machine. And that's really it, I guess. So there you go. And okay, and here's the system currently running. So Antec fans have all got blue LEDs on them. So you can see the blue light flying out of the top and from the side. As I look in, you can see all the fans on. Loudish, but it's not the worst in the world I've ever come across, so I'm quite happy with it, to be fair. So, and go and look at the computer. It's running across 3 screens at the moment. And if I go in here, you can see CPU Z. Okay, so there you go. 1.48 volts, over 5 gigahertz, 101.1 BLK. The cache, there's the main board information, the ASRock Z68 Professional Gen 3, BIOS, DDR3, dual channel RAM running at 2133 MHz. There, the clock speed's pretty stable, etc. More information on the RAM. As you can see, each slot is filled with the same G.Skill RAM. And there's the onboard graphics and 2 GeForce 580s. And that's it. And as you can see here, I've got Prime 95 running. It's been running about 10 minutes or so, but it's pretty stable. I've run it for an hour or so before without any too much problems. So small FTTs, whatever it is, it's running across 8 cores at the moment. If I just have a look, you can see, if I drag this over here, you can see there the performance, hyperthreading enabled, everything at 100%. And the temperatures. So you can see the voltage again on the top, 1.48 maximum it's pulling. And there's the cores. So you can see the current temperature on the left, the idle temperature that was when we started on the middle, and the highest recorded temperature on the right as Prime 95 goes through its process. Any game might cause a spike, but would never cause the temperatures to be this high during gameplay. What I've noticed is I'm typically high 60s, maybe low 70s, playing pretty much every game. The Battlefield 3 beta, Dirt 3, Crysis 2, all the same. And you can see the processor, what it's pulling, and the temps on the graphics cards at the moment. And that's it. So there you go. Great little motherboard, the ASRock, and got to love the 2600K. Thanks for watching.